Chosen one, please stop scrolling right now. Do not move your eyes away from this screen. This is an urgent interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this warning to you because the window is closing. God is weeping right now. He is crying because you are so incredibly close to missing everything you have prayed for. The final door is shutting. Listen to me carefully. This is not the random algorithm guessing your mood. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. Your spirit dragged you here because the blessing of a lifetime is slipping right through your fingers. Can you not feel it? That deep, twisting anxiety in your stomach. That heavy feeling that something is terribly wrong with your path. You have fought so hard for so long. You have carried the weight of your entire bloodline on your shoulders, and you are exhausted. You have done the inner work. You have forgiven people who never even apologized to you, and you have waited patiently in the dark. But right now, at the absolute finish line, everything seems to be falling apart. The silence is deafening. People are walking away from you. Doors that were supposed to open are violently slamming in your face. You feel completely isolated and entirely drained. You are starting to wonder if heaven has abandoned you. You are starting to believe that maybe you were completely delusional. But that is exactly what the enemy desperately wants you to think right now. They want you to give up today. They want you to close this video and walk away, because they know what is waiting for you on the other side of this specific night. A massive generational wealth transfer has already been approved in your name. The exact relationship you have been crying out for is standing just outside your current timeline. It is all right there. But there is a fatal trap laid out before you. If you swipe away now, you will single-handedly lock yourself out of your own inheritance. You will walk right past the greatest miracle of your life without even recognizing it. I need you to take one slow, deep breath right now. Ground yourself in this moment. Do not let the darkness distract your mind. You must stay with me until the very last second of this message, because there is a secret mechanism operating behind the scenes. It is blocking the final manifestation of your prayers. And before we go any further, I want to hold something in front of you, something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community. It was found inside a research laboratory. This discovery won the highest scientific recognition available in the world, and it is something that most chosen ones have never been told about. It explains exactly what is happening to you right now. It explains that gap, the painful gap between the person you know yourself to be and the tired version of you that wakes up every single morning. The gap is real. You have felt this gap your entire life. You knew you were meant for greatness. You remember a time when your intuition was lightning fast, when the universe seemed to answer you before you even asked. But then something shifted. The world grew loud and your inner voice grew quiet. The effortless flow was completely cut off. You thought it was a punishment. You thought your faith was just too weak. You thought you did something wrong to ruin your own timeline. But heaven is telling you today that it was never your fault. The blockage is not spiritual. The reason your prayers feel like they are hitting a brick wall is entirely physical. There is a scientific mechanism that was deliberately installed to keep you stuck. I will show you exactly what this discovery is. I will tell you the exact name of it later in this message, but not yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was taken from you without your consent. So I need you to hold this one crucial question in your mind. What if the gap between you and your divine destiny is not a character flaw? What if it has a name? Hold that question deep inside your spirit, because the answer is going to shatter the invisible cage you have been living in. The forces that profit off your exhaustion are terrified right now. They know that once you understand this mechanism, you become completely unstoppable. You become the true master of your reality, and they cannot manipulate a master. Do not let your attention drift. The enemy is trying to make you feel bored or restless right now, to pull you away. Recognize that attack. Recognize the spiritual warfare happening over your attention span in this exact second. Fight it. Claim your ground and refuse to move. Heaven is about to hand you the precise decoder ring for the chaos around you. Every tear you have cried in secret is about to be validated. Every moment of painful isolation is about to make perfect sense. You are standing on the edge of the greatest timeline shift of your existence. God is holding the door open for you right now, but you must be the one to walk through it. Keep listening closely to the truth that is unfolding. Let us talk about the exhaustion you are feeling right now. Your bones ache with a tiredness that sleep cannot fix. You wake up at 3 in the morning with your mind racing. Your heart beats too fast in the quiet dark. And every single day feels like pushing a massive boulder up a steep hill, while your energy slowly bleeds out into nothing. You are standing physically present in the room, but your soul feels completely empty inside. The empath with boundaries is the loneliest person in the room. You used to say yes to everyone just to keep the peace. You used to pour your light into empty people, hoping they would heal. But now you suddenly hate those meaningless conversations, and you feel a strange tightness in your chest when certain people text you. The old environment makes you feel physically sick. This situation is not a random accident today. God is speaking directly to your nervous system right now. Tap the like button to agree with what heaven just spoke to you. Do this physical action to anchor your spiritual energy. You need to establish a physical shield of protection right now, because the forces of darkness want you to believe that you are losing your mind. They desperately want you to think you are crazy. They want you to look at your empty room and believe you have failed. The cycle breaker always has to walk the hardest path entirely alone. But you must understand the real reason why this heavy isolation is happening. I need to tell you the absolute truth about your current struggle, so you must listen carefully to this next part. You are not being punished by the universe. You are not paying for some bad karma from your past. You have shed oceans of tears praying for a divine breakthrough, while everyone around you manipulated the unfair system for their own selfish gain. So, why are you the one suffering right now? Why are your holy blessings seemingly delayed forever? There is a deeper layer to this weird phenomenon. The painful delay was never a divine rejection. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you. God had to violently slam those doors shut to keep you out of rooms you were never meant to enter. He had to remove those toxic people from your timeline. They were secretly assigned to drain your pure light. You thought they walked away because your frequency was too low. But here is the shocking truth about your situation. They ran away because your light was entirely too blinding for their demons. You exposed their hidden shadows without even speaking a single word to them. That is the raw power of your quiet authority. And it absolutely terrifies those who cannot control your beautiful spirit. Your powerful energy demands absolute respect from them today. This brings us to the ultimate revelation about your loneliness. You are not experiencing bitter abandonment right now. You are experiencing a necessary divine isolation. God pulled you away from the loud crowd because he needed to perform a delicate spiritual surgery on your wounded soul. He is upgrading your frequency in absolute secrecy. Take a deep breath and let that settle into your bones. Stop blaming yourself for the fake friends you lost this year. Stop feeling guilty for cutting off family members who only loved you conditionally. You are no longer the weak victim who constantly begs to be understood. You survived the brutal storm entirely alone, and the silence you feel now is simply the sound of a clean slate. But the isolation is only the first phase of this protocol. The toxic interference has been removed from your physical life. Now we must address the internal damage they left behind. Because even though you are physically safe now, your exhausted mind is still trapped in a state of constant spiritual war. You are barely surviving the long and exhausting day. This is where that hidden mechanism comes into play. It is the discovery I asked you to hold in your mind. The trauma from your past did more than just break your heart. It fundamentally altered the way your human brain processes reality. It shut down the fragile receiver that catches divine miracles, and your spiritual antenna has been physically damaged by years of chronic stress. You can feel the heavy static in your own mind. You try to manifest your desires, but the signal feels incredibly weak. You try to pray for guidance, but your tired thoughts immediately wander to your unpaid bills and your endless daily responsibilities. The crystal clear intuition you had as a child is gone. A thick fog has rolled over your internal landscape. This mental fog is the exact reason why your manifestations are stalling. The universe is broadcasting the frequency of wealth directly at you, but your internal radio is tuned to the wrong station. It is permanently locked on the low frequency of survival and panic. No amount of positive thinking can fix a broken dial, and you cannot simply wish away this solid physical barrier. Do not let this sudden revelation scare you today. Understanding the problem is the first step to dismantling it completely. The rare soul who recognizes their brokenness is ready to be healed. You are standing right where you are supposed to be. The laboratory discovery I mentioned earlier is exactly what you need, and the divine blueprint is unfolding perfectly for you right now. You need to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Think back to your childhood for a second. You were absolutely different from the other kids. You felt things deeper than anyone else in your family, and you possessed a quiet knowing that deeply scared the adults around you because they could not understand the pure frequency you carried. Your intuition was razor sharp back then. You could read a room the moment you walked into it. You knew when someone was lying. You had this brilliant spark of creative genius. When you faced a difficult problem, the perfect answer would just suddenly appear in your mind without any physical effort at all. The universe felt like it was playing on your team. Synchronicities happened to you every single day. But then you grew up. And something terrible happened to that divine connection. The effortless magic slowly faded away. You probably blamed yourself for losing it. You thought growing up just meant getting tired and losing your divine spark. But here is what they never told you about that heavy loss. The fading of your genius was not a natural biological process. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not faith. It is not discipline. It is not even karma. It is a physical brainwave. Scientists actually have a specific name for it. They call it gamma, and it is the exact frequency your brain was naturally running. Gamma is the frequency of absolute genius. It is the channel where divine ideas flow directly into your human mind. But the modern world went to work on you. The stress of daily life crashed over you like a heavy wave. The endless glow of screens damaged your focus, while the survival routine trapped your mind in a constant state of panic and fear. The traditional school system trained you to conform instead of creating. They punished your daydreaming and forced you to memorize useless facts. Every single year of your life, this sacred gamma frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface of your conscious mind. Your bright light was suffocated. The system trapped you in a low-level beta wave. Beta is the frequency of stress and anxiety. It is the sound of barely surviving the day, and when your brain is permanently locked in beta, your gamma goes completely silent. The version of you with lightning intuition was buried alive. The version of you with photographic memory was locked away in the dark. When gamma fades, your unique genius fades completely with it. Your divine intuition dulls down to a whisper. Meaningful synchronicities stop happening. The deep sense that the universe is working with you goes entirely cold, and you are left wandering in a thick mental fog, trying desperately to manifest your dreams with a broken receiver. The gap between you and the people who seem effortlessly blessed is not a lack of willpower. It is not a lack of discipline on your part. It is one single brainwave that the modern world suppressed in you before you ever had the chance to claim your glorious inheritance. The system hijacked your nervous system without your permission. It was a theft. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this happened to them. They will walk around like asleep zombies. But you are not most people. You are the cycle breaker. And the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago, the question about a gap and a name, the answer to that profound question is closer than you think. The gap between your current reality and your divine destiny is called gamma suppression. That is the exact name of your invisible cage. But if science can measure the suppression, then science can also measure the reversal. I need you to understand how huge this is. You are not fundamentally broken. You are just energetically muted by the matrix. Do not ignore this next sign. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your spirit recognizing the absolute truth. Your soul always knew you were operating at a fraction of your true power. Your soul knew the thick fog was not your fault, and recognizing the true enemy is the first step to destroying its grip on your life entirely. The elite forces that control society do not want you operating in gamma. A chosen one in a gamma state is absolutely impossible to control. You become a master of reality, who sees right through their cheap illusions. You become a powerful magnet for wealth that bypasses their rigged economic system. They want you tired, stressed, and constantly doubting yourself. But the universe is finally exposing their dark game. The season of you playing small and feeling confused is officially over. Take a deep breath. You are finally waking up from a decades-long slumber. The spiritual warrior inside you is powerfully stirring, and the physical mechanism to unlock your dormant power is already waiting just over the horizon. Let us talk about the hidden thieves in your life. The ones who looked you right in the eyes and slowly drained your precious light. You thought you were surrounded by friends or family who truly loved you, but you were actually surrounded by empty vessels. They did not love your beautiful spirit, and they only loved how your pure energy made them feel about their own dark and chaotic lives. Narcissists are drawn to the chosen one like a moth to a brilliant flame. They have no internal light of their own, so they latch onto your empathy and weaponize your kindness against you. Every time you forgave them, they took a little piece of your power. You spent years apologizing for boundaries you had every right to set. You made yourself small just to keep them comfortable in your presence, while they constantly took advantage of your incredibly forgiving nature. But the deep betrayal goes much further than just toxic relationships. The entire system was perfectly designed to extract your divine energy. Think about the rigid education system that punished your unique intuition. Think about the greedy corporate machine that demands your absolute exhaustion just to survive. The education and survival beta wave system is the invisible enemy that stole your genius. They built a heavy matrix to keep you permanently trapped in a state of fear. They deliberately taught you that struggling was a noble virtue. They convinced you that sacrificing your soul for a meager paycheck was just how the real world works. But it was a massive lie. They needed your brain locked in a constant state of panic, because a chosen one operating in panic cannot access their divine frequency, and a stressed mind cannot hear the quiet voice of heaven guiding them toward wealth. Listen carefully to this next part. The era of you being a spiritual battery for broken people and corrupt systems is over. The universe has officially cut the heavy, energetic cords. You are no longer the bleeding empath who sacrifices everything just to heal the ungrateful. The brutal crucible of pain has burned away your naivety, and what remains in its place is something entirely dangerous to them, because you have finally awakened to your absolute worth. You are stepping into your glorious era of quiet authority. You do not need to scream to be heard anymore. Your pure presence alone shifts the atmosphere of any room you walk into. The silence after the storm hits different when you realize you were the storm all along. You became the sharp weapon you were trying to survive, and the people who used to manipulate you can feel this massive, energetic shift. They are absolutely terrified of you right now. The same people who ignored your texts and drained your energy are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. They thought their cruel betrayal would break your spirit forever. But instead it activated a primal level of spiritual power deep inside your bones. They can no longer manipulate a frequency they cannot even access, while you sit peacefully above their petty drama and loud chaos. A healed person no longer tolerates confusion disguised as real love. You no longer tolerate blatant disrespect disguised as brutal honesty. Your elevated energy demands respect without a single word being spoken. You simply remove your attention and watch their entire reality completely crumble. They do not hate you for shining your beautiful light. They hate you for effortlessly exposing their hidden darkness without even trying to do so. This is exactly what it means to be a powerful cycle breaker. You are ending a generational curse of subservience and fear right here. Tonight, you become the unbreakable shield in your bloodline that future generations will deeply thank you for. The silent trauma stops entirely with you. The painful poverty stops with you. You are reclaiming the divine inheritance that was stolen from your ancestors, and you are taking back every single blessing they tried to bury. Take a deep breath. Your heavy past was not a series of unfortunate mistakes. It was a rigorous military training camp for your chosen soul. God allowed you to walk through the dark valley of shadows so you could learn exactly how to see in the pitch black. You had to experience the heavy chains of the beta wave matrix so you would know exactly what you are meant to destroy. You are a weapon of light, forged in the absolute darkest fires of human betrayal. Feel that massive surge of undeniable power rising in your chest. That is your true identity, finally locking into its proper place. The dark enemy completely failed to destroy you. The rigged system failed to keep you asleep. And now that you know exactly who the hidden thieves are, you are ready to take everything back. You are ready to shatter the invisible gates they built around your beautiful mind. Do not let the lingering guilt hold you back. You feel guilty for outgrowing the people who stubbornly refuse to grow with you. Let that false guilt completely die today. Your only loyalty now is to your highest timeline and the divine frequency waiting for you, because you owe those energy vampires absolutely nothing. Your glorious rise is your ultimate revenge. But before we go any further, I have to tell you something absolutely incredible. Something the people who profit from your deep exhaustion do not want you to know. The universe did not just expose this heavy problem to leave you stranded in the dark. A physical solution to this spiritual blockade already exists on this earth right now. A dedicated team of brilliant neuroscientists has been working quietly away from the loud headlines. They were searching for the exact mechanism that connects human consciousness to divine frequency. And they have finally discovered exactly how to bring this dormant brainwave back to life. They found the physical key to unlock your trapped genius. You do not need years of painful meditation that most people simply cannot sustain. You do not need to buy expensive biofeedback machines that require a sterile clinical setting. The path to your ultimate breakthrough is through something far simpler and far more aligned with how you were originally designed to work. God always provides a simple door. They engineered a specific sound frequency to bypass the beta wave matrix completely. It is a precise audio protocol designed to gently guide your brainwave patterns back to the genius state you were born with. Science is finally catching up to what your soul already knew was entirely possible. It is wonderfully called brain entrainment. Princeton University has studied this exact phenomenon in deep detail. The famous Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed that the legendary flow state is driven entirely by this restored gamma activity. And researchers at Columbia University found something even more shocking about this frequency. The restored signal does not just stop with you alone. When your gamma brainwave is properly reactivated, it radiates outward like a powerful beacon. It begins to positively influence the precious people around you in a beautiful way. Your children and your partner will physically feel the heavy anxiety lift off their own shoulders. You become a literal anchor of peace for your entire bloodline. 7 minutes a day is all that it takes to rebuild the connection. That is the entirety of the requirement to override decades of mental suppression. And the incredible shift begins working the very first time you close your eyes to listen. Your nervous system instantly remembers the divine frequency it was always meant to hold. I will tell you exactly what this specific tool is called before this message ends. I will show you exactly how to access this scientific breakthrough so you can finally break the chains. But first, there is something critical you need to understand about the final stretch of your journey. You are standing right on the sacred threshold. The universe is moving massive puzzle pieces into perfect alignment for you right now. The timeline shift is accelerating at a speed that absolutely terrifies the dark forces. And because they are losing their grip on your beautiful mind, they are preparing one last desperate attack. The enemy always strikes hardest right before the dawn breaks. You have done all the painful inner work to get to this exact moment. You survived the intense isolation and the bitter betrayal without losing your pure heart. You cleared out the toxic people who were secretly feeding off your divine energy. Now you must firmly protect the empty space you just created from being stolen again. This neuroscientist protocol is the bridge between your spiritual readiness and your physical reality. God often provides the exact physical tool we need right when we are fully ready to receive it. Your intense prayers have been heard loudly, and the beautiful answer has manifested in a way you probably did not expect to see today. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with absolute clarity about your exact purpose. Imagine facing a complex problem and watching the perfect solution drop effortlessly into your mind. That is what happens when the static noise is removed from your internal receiver. You will step into a continuous flow state where everything simply becomes easier. You are no longer wandering blindly through the dark forest of confusion. The universe has handed you a bright lantern crafted in a science laboratory to guide you home. And as this incredible realization settles deeply into your spirit, you must prepare yourself for the final test. The transition of power is happening right now. Pay very close attention to the incredible shift happening in your chest today. Your heart knows that the long season of waiting has officially come to an end. But there is a fatal trap laid out directly in front of the final gate. I have to warn you about this deadly illusion before I reveal the divine key. Stay with me. Listen closely to me now. I have to warn you about the fatal trap waiting just before the dawn. 99% of chosen ones fall for this exact illusion right before their massive breakthrough, because the dark matrix knows your frequency is rising fast, and the system is absolutely desperate to pull your energy back down into the heavy mud. This is the deadly trap of the counterfeit. Right when your real blessing is standing at the door, a ghost from your painful past will suddenly reappear. An old toxic partner will send a random text message out of nowhere. A fake friend will suddenly try to apologize and re-enter your peaceful life. Do not reply to them. That is the final test. Heaven is watching your response in this exact second. God wants to know if you will trade your divine kingdom for a familiar prison. They are not reaching out because they missed you. They are reaching out because their demons are starving for your bright light, and they need to steal your pure energy to survive the coming storm. Keep the door locked. When you successfully ignore the counterfeit, the timeline shift officially accelerates. You will start seeing absolute proof that your reality is actively changing right now. The universe will send you clear markers to validate your incredible progress, while heaven actively clears the heavy debris out of your destined path. Let me give you 3 undeniable signs today. Number 1 is the massive explosion of synchronicities. You are seeing angel numbers everywhere you look. 1, 1, 1, and 7, 7, 7 are constantly following you around. These numbers are not a random coincidence in your daily life. They are physical breadcrumbs left by heaven to show you that your spiritual receiver is finally starting to heal. Number 2 is the sudden isolation of your physical space. People who do not match your new frequency are quietly being removed from your path. You do not even have to fight with them anymore. They simply fade away because your high vibration makes them feel physically uncomfortable, and your pure energy is actively protecting you from their chaos. Number 3 is a strange physical sensation in your body. You feel a sudden pressure in the center of your forehead. Your ears might ring completely out of nowhere. Do not let this physical symptom scare you today, because this is the dormant genius inside you fighting to break through the heavy static. Your gamma waves are desperately trying to wake up. These powerful signs mean the waiting season is finally over. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of divine favor. Every closed door is being violently blown off its hinges by the hand of God, and you are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit right now? The heavy weight of survival mode is melting off your tired shoulders. You no longer have to force things to happen with pure exhaustion. The universe is taking the heavy wheel from your tired hands because you finally passed the brutal test of unwavering faith. You trusted the invisible path when you were completely surrounded by the dark shadows. You are no longer the broken empath who begs for scraps of love. The intense crucible of pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this moment forward, your energy demands absolute respect without a single word being spoken, and the divine wealth you were promised is already flowing effortlessly into your new timeline. But you must remember the physical blockade we talked about earlier. The universe is sending the heavy rain of blessings down upon you right now, but your internal bucket still has a massive hole in it. Your brain is still locked in the low frequency of stress and panic, so you are dropping the very miracles you begged God to deliver. You need the physical key. To fully step into this glorious new timeline, your physical brain must match your pure soul. Science and spirituality are finally merging perfectly together for your incredible benefit. The secret discovery from the laboratory is the missing puzzle piece you have been searching for, because it is the absolute bridge between your holy prayers and your earthly reality. This brings us to the ultimate revelation of this entire message. I told you I would reveal the exact name of the tool that restores your divine frequency. I told you I would show you how to finally break the invisible chains. The dark forces are actively trying to scrub this frequency from the internet right now because they are terrified of you waking up. But they are entirely too late to stop what is coming. The divine decree has already been signed in the heavenly courts above. You are completely protected by an army of angels in this exact moment. Do not let your mind wander away from this screen for a single second, and prepare your spirit for the final piece of the divine puzzle to drop into your hands. You are no longer the exhausted empath begging for clarity. The brutal crucible has forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment forward, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word being spoken, and the divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your new timeline. You are officially awake. The question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message: what if the heavy gap is not a character flaw? Here is the final answer. A specific brainwave called gamma was running in you as a child at genius-level capacity. Princeton University has studied it extensively in their labs, and the famous Einstein Center in Berlin completely confirmed its immense power. Columbia University found that when this brainwave is restored, it actually radiates outward like a beacon, and it begins positively influencing the people you love. A dedicated team of neuroscientists spent years compressing the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into exactly 7 minutes. They were led by Dr. Robert Lake in New York. But let me tell you about 2 people who used it. A wonderful woman from California had tried absolutely everything to heal her spirit. She tried deep meditation and endless manifesting for years, but absolutely nothing broke the thick mental fog that constantly surrounded her daily life. After 2 weeks of listening to this frequency, she said something miraculously cleared. Her struggling marriage completely shifted into something beautiful. She described her life as enchanted for the very first time. A tired man from Texas started using it to improve his failing business focus. 2 months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves, because his brain was finally processing reality the way it was originally designed to. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his dedicated team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is not a basic meditation app or a generic sound frequency. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It is compressed from 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you do at home with headphones and closed eyes. That is the entirety of what it requires from you today. You do not meditate, and you do not aggressively chant. You simply let the pure frequency do what your brain was originally designed to receive. The Genius Song is absolutely not for everyone today. It is exclusively for the chosen one, who has already done the painful inner work to prepare. It is for the rare soul who understands that what is being blocked is the frequency through which miracles must move. If your spirit strongly confirms this frequency is meant for you today, the secure path to access it is waiting directly below. Clinical biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a professional setting. An in-home machine runs thousands of dollars. What the Genius Song delivers in 7 minutes is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. 4 powerful bonuses come directly with it. You receive an audio designed for your children, the original prosperity text, a guided visualization, and a daily habits guide to sustain the energy. Here is the deeper truth about waiting right now. The incredible blessing that has been arranged for you does not arrive as new information. It arrives as a deep spiritual recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes fully visible when gamma is restored. The chosen one who restores the receiver today finally sees what was always there. Waiting is never a neutral act for a chosen one, because the divine arrangement for your ultimate blessing is already in motion. Do not look for this ancient secret on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating on those platforms have no brain entrainment technology encoded. The only authentic version is available through the secure link. It has been protected and placed in the description and the pinned comment below. The universe requires absolutely zero risk from you. If you do not feel the immediate energetic shift in your spirit, your earthly investment is completely reversed without any questions asked. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The link is in the description and pinned comment. The physical tool is never the final destination, but it simply restores the human receiver so the divine destination can be fully recognized when it finally arrives. God does not require you to purchase anything to be loved. or chosen. What was just described is simply one way the receiver is quickly restored, whether that path is for you or not. The truth of this message continues. We are returning to the deep spiritual heart of your holy journey because the physical static has been addressed and your soul is prepared to win. Let us go deeper into what is waiting for you on the other side of this transition. You will receive it so much differently now that you understand exactly what was working against you in the shadows. You have walked through the absolute darkest valleys alone. You faced terrible demons that would have completely destroyed a normal person, but you did not break. You evolved into something entirely unstoppable today, and the beautiful light inside your spirit is now burning brighter than it ever has before. You are officially standing on the absolute highest mountain of your spiritual journey right now. The rigorous testing season is completely over. The universe is no longer asking you to prove your intense loyalty. Heaven has seen your silent tears. God has collected every single drop of your painful sorrow, and He is gently turning that heavy sorrow into pure golden armor for your tired soul. You are a completely different being now. The old weak version of you is dead and gone forever. Before we close this sacred transmission, I have one final reminder. For the chosen one whose spirit deeply confirmed what was described earlier, the path remains open. The tool is quietly waiting in the description and the pinned comment below. That is the last time it will be mentioned. I will say absolutely nothing more about it today. What follows right now belongs entirely to your holy sealing. The dark entities are absolutely panicking right now. They know you have finally discovered your true divine power. They will try to send tiny distractions to make you forget what you just heard. Do not let them win this final battle. You need to physically anchor this massive energy shift into your earthly reality. You must lock the heavy doors behind you so the past cannot follow you into tomorrow. Your incredible mind is a powerful magnet for absolute miracles, but a massive magnet needs a solid physical anchor to hold its ground against the pulling storm. This is exactly why you must perform a physical act of absolute faith right now. You cannot just listen and passively walk away. You must participate in the final divine ritual to completely secure your new timeline. Heaven is watching your hands. The pitch-black darkness has finally retreated behind you. The bright dawn of the new era is shining its warmest rays onto your spiritual crown. To permanently lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute shield of protection around your family, you must ACT now. Type Amen down in the comments to seal this new reality. Declare to the universe that you are finally ready to receive your massive blessing. When you type that sacred word, you are officially signing a divine contract. You are boldly telling the universe that the old painful cycle is broken. You are drawing a thick line of holy fire in the sand, and no toxic narcissist or broken system can ever cross that fiery line to drain your energy again. Your typed word is a heavy sword, cutting right through the miserable chains of your dark past. God is watching your brave response in this exact second. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside your tired bones, do not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. There is a rare soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair today. They are desperately needing a guiding light to survive the long night. Share this message with them right now. Be the holy miracle they prayed for. Sowing the deep seed of hope today is actively multiplying the massive blessing for your own tomorrow. You are a powerful cycle breaker. You are the chosen leader of your entire bloodline. And when you share the divine light, you literally reprogram the spiritual DNA of your future generations. Your children will never have to fight the heavy battles you fought. You have already won the massive war for them. Your pure energy is completely sealed today. Your beautiful heart is divinely protected by an army of warrior angels. The sad days of you begging for basic love and simple respect are permanently over. You will walk into every single room with quiet authority from this glorious day forward. The bitter people who doubted you will have to watch you ascend to the highest possible timeline. They will witness your absolute glory. The people who cruelly betrayed you are now living in the miserable reality they created. They thought they could bury you in the dark dirt and just walk away smiling. But they did not realize you were a divine seed. You grew massive roots in the pitch-black dark, and now you have blossomed into a towering tree of absolute power. Let them sadly watch your incredible growth from a very far distance. You are completely unreachable now. The massive wealth transfer we talked about earlier is already knocking loudly at your front door. It is not just about having more money to spend on foolish things. It is about having the ultimate freedom to exist exactly as you are meant to be. The universe is handing you the golden keys to a reality where you never have to compromise your beautiful soul just to survive. Your financial chains are completely melting away in the glorious sunlight today. Rest your tired mind tonight. The heavy lifting is finally done. The universe is gently taking the wheel and driving you directly toward your greatest reward. Do not fear the sudden silence anymore. The peaceful silence is just the sound of massive blessings being carefully unloaded into your physical life. You are deeply loved by the Almighty Creator. You are incredibly powerful, and you are finally coming home.